The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the semi-final debates of the Great Debaters Contest. We are in Nairobi, James Cambridge International School, and I am Austin Nyumbok.
I am Mariam Bashar. Of course, welcome to the show. An issue that's been going around the news lately is just how much should the government be involved in the private sector? And in the event that private businesses fail, should the government bail them out? We have Nyeri region winners, Nyeri High School, and of course the giants of Nakuru, Bahati girls, are tackling this motion today. Proposer number one, you have 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury and judges, I have a case. I have this friend called Daniel, and Daniel has helped me through thick and thin. If it were not for Daniel, I don't really think I would have been the guy that I am today. However, Daniel is not perfect. Daniel tends to get into these situations, these pickles, and I tend to be the guy that helps him out of these situations. Now, should I choose to abandon Daniel just because he's not perfect? Man is to error, and so is business to risk. My name is Smith Muhuri, from the school on the hill, here to propose the motion that governments should bail out failing private businesses. And this topic simply means, number one, governments. A government is a group of people who run a particular country. To bail out is simply to pay a bill or a debt on behalf of someone. And finally, a private business is a business that is not owned by the state, but it is owned by a person or a group of people. I hope people love cars, because I happen to love this specific car in Germany. It's called Volkswagen. Now, Volkswagen has not really been the best. It has not always been the best, because in 1947, it faced a major monetary situation. One of its major factories was bombed down. However, all was not lost, because the German government came to its rescue. It was the Superman at the time. It offered them money in order to rebuild the Volkswagen industry. And now, 70 years down the line, Volkswagen bought Bugatti. And according to Eurowatch.com, the Volkswagen company pays revenue worth over 2 million euros per year. Now, that is just one. That's just one private institution. There is Volkswagen, BMW, Audi, Porsche, and a lot more of these private industries in the country of Germany. Now, just imagine how much revenue it earns from this. Now, according to a research done by the IMF, it stated that private institutions all over the world earn their government's revenue worth over 69.9 trillion US dollars per year. Whereas, on the other hand, the public sector earns only 49.7 trillion US dollars per year. Now, by preventing this from happening, we'll be against the SDG number 8, which is on decent work and economic growth, because this revenue is used in building the country. Now, number 2, employment. Go to the Chrysler car manufacturing industry in the United States of America. It offers employment to over 1 million US citizens. This is according to the ProPublica.org. Now, by preventing the government from having helped the GM Motors industry in 1990, you could have been against the SDG number 1 on eradication of poverty. Now, I want to state one thing clear. Bailing out is not giving out of money as a grant. Bailing out could be giving out of money as a loan with interest. For example, the GM industry gave US profits of over 46.44 billion. Now, why do you choose to bite the hand that feeds you?
Bahati girls, you have 3 minutes to make your opening statements.
5 minutes, Bahati girls, strongly opposing the motion that states governments should bail out failing private businesses. To my clear and cut definition of terms. So, government, this is a body with the power to make laws and control a country, people, or organization. To bail out, this is simply the act of providing financial support to a company or a country that is facing serious financial constraints. Failing, this is simply being unable to achieve a set goal. And private, this is belonging to or only accessible to a particular individual or a specific group. To my first point, it is a moral hazard. The current business market has enough rewards to motivate businesses to compete and not to fail. So, if our government decides to promise these people, to promise these private businesses, hey, you know what? If you fail, I'll be there to bail you out. These people or these businesses will decide to make reckless decisions and take reckless risks because they know that the bailout is the safety net. It's in the same way a child will cause chaos in school, knowing that mom or dad will come to solve the problem and defend them against the teachers. To my second point, it is equal to rewarding failure. Now, let's relate this to us as students. If I get a D- and then mom buys me a bicycle, then I go ahead and I get an E. Do you expect mom to buy for me a laptop? No, it is impractical from where I am standing. In the same way, if a business is about to fail, it is entirely its fault. Maybe it's because of poor management. Maybe it's because of the reckless decisions that they make. Bailing them out is simply a way of rewarding their failure. And who rewards failure? I believe you yourself will never reward failure. So let's take the example of Blockbuster Entertainment. This is an this is an American-based provider of home movie and video game rental services. Whose fault was it that they failed and went bankrupt in 2010? Whose fault was it? It was theirs because they could not man up and face competition from Netflix and Redbox. That is why they went bankrupt by 2010. Now let's come closer home. The current crisis Nakumatt Holdings is facing. According to the Daily Nation report on the 25th of June 2017, it states that the reasons for Nakumatt's crisis are, get this quite well, gross management, poor strategic decisions, tax issues, and wayward ways of their employees. Now, if the government decides to bail them out, how sure are we that their management will improve? How sure are we that their employees will become more disciplined? We are not sure. I am not saying we let them crash and burn. No, I am not saying this. I am saying the government can arrest these people in order to recover the money they have stolen to revive these businesses, not necessarily bailing them out. Thank you.
Rebuttals now. Nyeri High School, you have 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, they want to tell me that they will shoot themselves in the foot and expect me to feel pain. They want to tell me that they will crash their ship, thinking that everybody else will die except them. My name is Mike Marty from Nyeri High School. Now, first of all, I've had some very key words that have highly amused me. Moral hazards. Rewarding failure, government digging ditches. I'm afraid that the statistics are all wrong. First of all, Nakumatt, on its peak years, provided 6% increment of GDP in Kenya. And if they want to abolish Nakumatt and let Nakumatt scramble in the ground and die slowly, I will hit them with this fact. Our image of our country will be jeopardized. Why? Because Nakumatt is not only in Kenya. We have Nakumatt in Rwanda, we have Nakumatt in Uganda. So take a situation whereby if I am an owner of the Nakumatt and the government lets me fall down to ashes, what will be the image to outside countries? Are these the facts they really tell us that we are digging ditches? Are they serious? Now, according to the International Monetary Fund, in only Africa, private companies are consistently rising by a rate of 12%, almost doubling the public companies. And yet I hear them saying private companies have so much poor management. Who has more poor management? The one with higher profits or the one with lower profits? This is a matter of common looking with your own eyes, observing with your own senses. If a company is making double the profits of the government, who has more poor management? We have companies like Mumias who are still struggling so much, and yet it is a public company. Now, I like Safaricom because Safaricom is supporting SDG goal of quality education, and just like my mentor Julie Gishuru once said, that it is creating the M-Pesa Foundation that we have been able to improve education in our country. But yet, imagine the millions of people who have shares in Safaricom. Yes, Safaricom is a public public company. But what about those people who are private owners of those single shares? Won't they be intimidated when, if, let's say, Safaricom faced a crisis, they will be unsure that they will not be bailed out? So they are simply telling us that next year we'll not be having a debate platform because Safaricom will be abolished. Come on, what are you telling us if you are not promoting the SDG goal number 8, decent work, economic growth, the SDG goal number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure? We need to improve as Africa, but we cannot improve unless we uplift the private sector. The private sector holds us just like this, like an egg in a basket. But what do they say? Leave the private sector, leave it alone. And I ask, is this fair for you and me? The answer is on your court.
Bahati girls, let's hear your rebuttal. You also have 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only people who see the whole picture are those outside the frame. Mike, I almost liked you because my boyfriend is called Mike. But right now I look at you with smart askance. You have destroyed the motion. We are not saying to leave this. Pardon. We are not saying to leave them to crash. We are not saying don't build them. The first speaker has said, arrest the people that are making it to fail. We are not saying leave them. She said we arrest them. Now I say, let us eradicate the corruption that is going on there. We don't want to destroy these businesses. We just don't want the government to bail them out. That is our motion. You said that man is to error. The first speaker said man is to error. Yeah, true. Nyeri, you are to error. Let me get this clear. Public operating businesses are poorer than private operating businesses. But then these poor government businesses now want to help the private businesses. Nyeri, what is happening? This is the beggar helping the passerby. It is impractical. It cannot happen. The poor cannot help the poor. The government is poor by itself. It cannot help failing private businesses. Now, to my first point, increase in tax. Did you think of that? You see, currently, KRA is collecting 1.18 billion taxes only from the citizens. And now, the country is in a debt of 623 billion. But after it helps the Kenya Airways, the debt rose to, get this, 725.7 billion shillings from only KQ. Now imagine, 3.2 billion shillings was rendered to Mimias according to the Star. 675 million to Uchumi according to Daily Nation. And now 20 billion shillings was rendered to Kenya Airways according to Business Daily. Really, we are increasing the debt of Kenya. We are increasing the tax among the taxes that the Kenyans have paid. Now, are you imagining the poor person in Murang'a, the poor person in Turkana, the person who is not able to cover even the existing tax? What are you doing to these people? Ladies and gentlemen, this is inhumane. This is not right, and I will not stand for it because it is not right. Now, instead of the government helping them, one thing they can do is they can eradicate the corruption that is existing. Fauv Maungit said that one of the reasons these businesses are failing is because they lack poor management. Why? Because there's nepotism existing in these businesses. There is biasism. There is corruption in this business. Now, instead of the government bailing them out, please help me tell them, stop bailing them out. Try fighting corruption. That will help you save money. Secondly, corruption. I just said corruption. Again, it comes again corruption. Because you're going to give this government the power and mandate over these businesses. And therefore, they will have the right to employ those who want. They will have the right to get the money that they want from you. It is not right. We are talking about sustainable development goals. Ladies and gentlemen, this goal, sadly, is not sustainable. Bahati girls, thank you.
Thank you very much to the audience for those questions. The proposition have been asked, what checks and balances do they have to ensure that private companies don't become lazy or complacent when they get used to being bailed out by the government? And the opposition have been asked, if they are against government bailouts, then how can they defend the privatization of public holdings that is being done by the government? Third proposer, you have 3 minutes.
And money made man mad. Indeed. Now, I'm employed in a public company. And I try to think, there's no one who's looking at me. There's no one who's looking at whether I come for the job. The government will be sending editors, of course, and auditors, that is. But how frequently is it? Now, what will make me not want to miss Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, go to work on Thursday, get the auditors to tell me whenever they are coming, pay them some money, and start my own private business elsewhere, which I'll be attending to on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when I'll be missing jobs? Yeah. Money made man mad. Let me put this back before I get hypnotized. Now, I like the question that has been asked. Now, think about a company like Chrysler. In 1990, in Western Africa, Chrysler was bailed out by the government. Chrysler did very well. It gave back returns to the government. And it's because after the government bails out a private company, they don't just leave it at that. The private company is supposed to pay back. So the private company knows that it has an obligation to the government. So high chances are this private company will work hard towards giving back to the government. It is proven by Workman.com that 70% of managers in public government fail to attend to their jobs 4 out of 6 working days. What does that tell you? That they are not accountable. There's poor management in public government. So we should bail out private companies which have a center of authority. Think about quality goods. The US government, under the Troubled Assets Relief Program, held at the beginning of 2014, achieved both the bailout and investment earnings worth 11 billion shillings. What are we saying? That African countries, every other country, Asian countries which are not succeeding, they should pluck a leaf from such companies. Think about a company like the Manu Chandaria Foundation, Sanitary and Hygiene Supply. SDG number 6, clean water and sanitation. It has helped in education. You know about the Young Innovators Club by Manu Chandaria, of course. SDG number 4, quality education. Think about private hospitals. Those are companies. Companies don't just end at that. Even hospitals, private hospitals, they are forms of companies. Aga Khan Hospital, MP Shah. Think about this. Why is it that leaders get poisoned and we don't see them going to Kenyatta Hospital? Why do they prefer going to Aga Khan, MP Shah, these expensive private hospitals? It means that the facilities there are better governed. Now, don't sugarcoat it, honey. Madam Second Proposer, so beautiful. If you don't fail out private companies, then you're letting them fail. Don't sugarcoat it. By not bailing out private companies which are failing, it means that you're letting them fail. And this will lead to taxes will drop. Now, 78% of government companies are governed by men. And that is against the SDG number 5, gender equality. We want a 2-third gender role. I pity you, honey.
Bahati girls, let's hear your response to the audience. You have 3 minutes.
I was just internalizing heavily on the lies that Nyeri High School are presenting to us this afternoon. This is what I gather. According to Nyeri High School, the government should direct the funds it should be using for the development of sensitive issues in this country, such as health, SDG number 3, education, SDG number 4, infrastructure, SDG number 9, to reward failure. It can be just me who thinks this is funny. 2 words, Nyeri High School, misplaced priorities. I'm Wariara Ngigi, Bahati Girls Secondary School, Nakuru. Allow me to begin by responding to the question posed to me by Miracle. First and foremost, I hate to use the word corruption, but Miracle miraculously has made me use it. Ladies and gentlemen, most public companies are faced by the issue of corruption. Therefore, the government resorts to privatizing them so that they can be in a position to closely check on corruption. That is why privatization is happening at a very high rate. Now, we are not saying that private businesses are bad. We are not calling them ugly. All we are saying is that we should not give them gifts and clap for them when they fail. Allow me to move on to my first point. Government makes bad players in business. It is often said that the hand that feeds you practically controls you and owns you. When the government bails out failing private businesses, it most of the time tends to have a say in their management. Now, in support of the words by Chief Justice Willy Mutunga on Kenya being a bandit economy run by politically connected cartels, His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta said while in Israel that Kenyans are experts in stealing. Those are the words of the president. Ladies and gentlemen, allowing for some of these politicians to take control over private businesses is ironic, because I thought we are bailing them out so that we can help them. Yet, once we bail them out, we gain a little bit of control over their management. We are very, very corrupt. It's like helping them fail even lower. Sad, isn't it? Moving on to my second point, supporting this motion will mean stifled international relations. Ladies and gentlemen, no man is an island. We need each other for survival. Most African countries depend on European countries for survival, for some of the things such as technology and trade. According to United Nations conference, foreign direct investments inflow hit 97.8 billion, a 95% increase from 49.9 billion since from 2012 to 2013. During the Jubilee government era, increased foreign investment in Kenya has been one of the major, most important highs in this country. When we pretend that we can manage everything on our own, such that when businesses fail, we bail them out, it will only mean that we do not need foreign aid. And ladies and gentlemen, we have proven time and again that we cannot make it on our own. It's not meaning that we are weak. It just means that we love people, and we love being helped, and we love growth.
Final statements. Nyeri, you have 1 minute.
Honey, you're beautiful more than a Sunday morning, but your lies will make our marriage to collapse. First of all, who is the one with misplaced priorities? Is it you accusing Kenyans being experts of stealing? Yet I know we are so diligent. But aside from that, in 2000, Western African companies donated 9,000 Kindle laptops to promote learning. These were private companies, but since they love facts so much, I was astounded by 1.8 billion from KRA, 623 billion loans. Now I wonder, is it necessary for the government to borrow a loan so that it can uplift a private business? And I say to that, no. What a government does, it can hook you up with another company, and the other company will uplift you. And we will be therefore promoting SDG goal number 8, which states decent work and economic growth, which is one of my favorite SDGs. And sweetheart, I also want to marry you so much, but you need to understand that direct funds will only uplift the private sector if we are united together and we do not leave them to perish. I love you more. Thank you.
Bahati girls, you have 1 minute for your final statement.
Mike, what marriage? Imanthi Karobo. That is the name of a Tswana woman popularly known as Bomma in Botswana. She operates a kiosk, so she practically feeds the whole her local community. On top of feeding her local community, ladies and gentlemen, she takes care of her 3 grandchildren. This kiosk, she started 10 years ago. She put all her savings into this kiosk. Now, on top, according to the Sunrise, bailing out failing private businesses will only lead to an increased budget by the government, which eventually leads to increased tax from the public. Now, on top of taking care of the locals' needs and her 3 grandchildren, Bomma now has to worry about the increased tax she has to pay to reward some rich, careless business owner who would care less about her 3 grandchildren. This is not like childhood, where when a child falls, you applaud so that she can stand and move on. This is reality. We are dealing with real money, real people, realness.
I don't have something about what Chinua Achebe said, but I have something about what Shakespeare said. You know, the love relationship that was there. You know, it takes me back to Sonnet 116 by Shakespeare, where he says, "Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments." It was not a physical union; it was the marriage of true minds. And I love the marriage that we have just witnessed, and think the honeymoon will be after this. All right. You people, you are great. I have nothing, I've written nothing down. I was listening. I mean, what do you want me to write when I'm listening? All the best. Thank you.
Nyeri High School, the judges awarded you 80.5. Please give them a round of applause. Bahati Girls Secondary, the judges awarded 80.6. You are our winners for the debate.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, what you have witnessed here today is the epitome of debate, and we thank Nyeri High School and Bahati Girls for showing us exactly how it should be done. Thank you for watching as well. Remember to give us your feedback. Our hashtag remains GDC for SDGs. I have been your host, Mariam Bishar.
And I am Austin Yumbok. Keep watching.
The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.